Okay.
All right. Good afternoon. I'm Moira Bailey. I'm your board president, and I would like to call the meeting to order. Kathy, can you pray us in?
Sure. Let's just take a minute. And we begin knowing and giving thanks for that living, loving Spirit of God that indwells each one of us and that is present in this meeting today. So we open our hearts and minds in a spirit of oneness with each other and with the divine, knowing that we are guided and directed in all that we do. We are filled with creative ideas, and we give thanks for perfect divine order in this meeting. And we are aligned with the living Spirit of truth. And so we just say, thank you, God, for a great meeting. And so it is. Amen.
All right. Jennifer has written the acknowledgement 2025 of our land, and I will share it with you now. As we undertake the sacred work of this faith community, we do so on the ancestral and contemporary homeland of the Oceti Sakowin, pardon me if I say it wrong, specifically the Wapiti Kute. The Wapiti Kute are one of the 4 bands of the Dakota. Wapiti Kute translates as shooters from the leaves. Our actions honor a legacy of deep relationship with this place. Our actions can heal ourselves and the land, creating refuge, removing what does not belong, and planting what sustains life. Our stewardship grounds from the reflection, fostering thank you. With the land, waters, and all their kin, seen and unseen. Next slide, please. I will read the ground rules and then ask if you agree. Confidentiality, speak from the heart, speak the truth, hold each other with compassion, refrain from cross-talking or interrupting, and if you agree to uphold these ground rules, please raise your hand. Thank you. And now I would like to call for Bill Roloff, our board trustee secretary, to read the minutes.
Welcome. Unity North Spiritual Center, annual meeting minutes from February 16, 2025. Meeting was called to order by Board President Moira Bailey. Reverend Kathy opened with prayer. Moira read the ground rules. Approximately 28 people were in attendance and agreed to uphold the rules. Moira reminded everyone that only members can vote. Moira Bailey introduced the members of the board. Reverend Kathy, Moira Bailey, President, Aaron Casper-Frutt, Vice President, Cindy Huberty, Treasurer, Christine Grinzel, Secretary, Jennifer Flynn, and Bill Roloff, Trustees. Jennifer Flynn and Rhonda Italiano educated us on land acknowledgement, honoring with feeling that the stories of the people that came before us mattered. The people who occupied the land we now call Unity North Spiritual Center. We're a band of the Dakota tribe known as the... Yeah, thank you. This translates into shooters from the leaves. Bill Roloff read the minutes in 2024 annual meeting. Moira Bailey, board president, reported on fundraisers, report submitted. Cinco de Mayo plant sale brought in $985.27. Party program brought in $3,830. Shine Bright holiday auction brought in $3,098. Minister's report submitted. Contents and recognitions in report are listed below. Expansion team accomplishments, safety equipment review, ground overview and maintenance with arborist bids, adult education, prayer chaplains, usher coordinator, snack coordinator, men's group, community events, website, staff recognition, outreach, Sunday producers, worship assistant, 60% return of pre-COVID attendance, community affirmations, knowing our congregation article, musicians. Reverend Kathy shared her involvement with local ministers group and appreciates the support. She also commented on how fabulous it is to have the financial support of many community members, not just a few, and expressed appreciation for this positive, loving, and committed community. Reverend Kathy shared that December 1st was her 5-year anniversary at Unity North and her 35-year in ministry. She intends to have a celebration, and that we did. Youth Ministry Report, Kathleen Bailey presented there are a total of 12 youth in the program and 3 nursery children. For the 2024 school year, Sunday school classes were offered every Sunday for all age levels. Summer program was also offered every week and led by Moira and Kathleen Bailey. In the fall, Jennifer Flynn and Julie Gardner stepped up as YES teachers. The nursery has 3 new loving caregivers, Rachel Smith, Julie Hollingsworth, and Tracy Roloff. 2 successful fundraisers were held, the bake sale and the ice cream social and the chili cook-off. Outreach report, Kathleen Bailey report submitted. Family Table served over 900 meals through our drive-through with an average of 10 volunteers. Family Promise, our hospitality rotation, serves 1 to 5 families with cleaning, snack, and laundry supplies, also gift cards for gas, food, and kid-focused items. Kathleen and Rhonda attended a Breaking Barriers dinner class that aims to assist families with budgeting help. Unity North hosted a Family Promise advocate meeting for the 16 congregations who participate. Hands of Kindness served our community and greater community with 150 hours of support, along with gas and food gift cards. Adopt a Family hosted 2 families from Alexander House with food baskets and Christmas gifts. 2 bear blessings were held. The bears then went to Alexander House and various fire stations. Financial report, Chris Italiano reported to submitted. 2024, we ended a year strong with an increase of almost $31,000 in revenue, offsetting a $10,000 increase in expenses, yielding a $20,793 increase in revenue. $36,000 of that was from tithing. Much gratitude to this generous community support. With the help of our finances, we were able to increase our tithing, giving $16,000 back to our community and Anoka County programs. We entered 2025 with healthy checking and saving accounts. Our mortgage is on schedule to be satisfied March 3rd of 2032. With an expected rise in budgeted expenses for 2025, we would need roughly $40 a week to cover the increase. Rhonda Italiano made motion to accept the financial report. Kathleen Bailey seconded the motion. The motion was passed. Board elections, Erin Casper-Frett will be leaving her post of Vice President of the board. With gratitude, the community blessed her. The board will run with 5 members in 2025. When the meeting concluded, Erin had a new awareness and will remain on the board as Vice President for 2 years, completing a second full term. Board members nominating team, nominees from the 2025 nominating team are Mary Sorensen and Nancy Helvig. Motion was made that Nancy and Mary would be the 2025 nominating team. Majority agreed. Motion passed. Unity Worldwide Ministry and Unity Village Video, Jim Blake, CEO. A great information video of all the recent progressive work Unity Headquarters has accomplished. The board's 4 objectives: create prosperity awareness, increase social media and marketing, prayer and healing, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Reverend Kathy did an overview of our accomplishments and ongoing work. Unity World Headquarters has made a move to rename DEI to Embracing Differences. This is due to the political ramification that could jeopardize our 501c3 tax exempt status. A short discussion was observed with members supporting the title changes, but not the internal content. Kathleen Bailey made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Rhonda Italiano, second. Meeting closed with prayer. Respectfully submitted by our former secretary, Christine Grinzel. Thank you.
Can I get a motion to accept the minutes? Rhonda, can I get a second? Kathleen, all in favor? Opposed? The motion is carried. Thank you. I'd like to go back one step. I forgot to introduce my own board. We have Reverend Kathy, myself as president, Aaron Casper Frett as vice president, Cindy Huberty as treasurer, both Jennifer Flynn and Bill Roloff as co-secretaries, and Christine Grinzel as a trustee.
Should be in standard.
Thank you. If you want to stand.
And Erin just said she's online.
All right.
She's on her way, but she's online.
Hello, Erin. My apologies about that. All right. We had an amazing plant sale with Christine and Jennifer, and we raised $521. Our incredible party program raised, after expenses, $2,156. Fun was had by all, and just a show of hands, how many of you want to do it again? Our Shine Bright holiday auction, virtual auction, had 91 donations, 212 bids, and $2,101 after expenses. Our expansion team, these are the volunteers on the expansion team. Reverend Kathy, Rhonda Italiano, Chris Italiano, myself, Moira, Kathleen Bailey, Christine Grinzel, Howard Grinzel, Jennifer Flynn, Tracy Roloff, and Bill Roloff. Here are the basic intentions of the team. Growing Unity North, increasing our attendance, seeing with new eyes, brainstorming ideas, hosting community gatherings, beautifying and protecting our facility and grounds, marketing our ministry, spreading the word, expanding our consciousness, building our youth and family ministry, facilitating friendliness, welcoming new team members, and promoting Unity teachings. If you would like to be interested in joining this team, just let myself or Kathy know. And now I'd like to call on Kathy to give her report.
Thank you. So, good afternoon. I'm grateful to be here with all of you today. Since Moira ended with the expansion team, that's where I'll start. We're doing this kind of on the same order we did last year. But here's what the team has accomplished in 25. Updated the lending library, updated organized shelves, added table and chairs for ambience, added storage shelving for family table and organized the storage room, updated the Uniteens and YOU rooms, painted the chalkboard wall and back wall, removed suspect trees and buckthorn between properties, moved acoustic panels in the sanctuary, those things on the side, to meet the fire marshal request. We updated, and that was not an easy job actually. It took us a long time to get to it because of that. Updated Narthex bulletin boards, cleaned exterior, interior windows, excluding the clear story windows, and removed wall sanitizers, and moving to a post-COVID atmosphere. Updated signage in the parking lot, replaced the faded signage and added new. Filled in parking lot asphalt depressions, received the Coon Rapids Sustainability Award, and hosted the Sustainability Garden Tour. There will be more on that in just a minute. And this team has accomplished so much since it began several years ago. This is just 1 year's worth, a lot more than that, but yeah, for several years, it's really done a lot. So I deeply appreciate each person on this team and all the effort that's gone into it. Let's give them a hand. And next, the board and expansion team came together with the intention of creating policy for responding to ICE. We used information given to us by Greater Unity, some other organizations and churches. Now we changed, when we were together, we called ourselves the ICE response team. But as I began emailing, we started feeling that wasn't really safe. So we were calling ourselves the Unity North Safety Team, who is about doing ICE response. So though ICE is supposed to be leaving this state, we will continue with this until they actually do. And this is a 5-step congregation protocol that we have begun working on. So the first is to designate a trained point person or response team. And we have designated that. We're calling this the Unity North Safety Team. I'm not the designated person who would respond. Rather, I am there to offer support at meetings in the beginning, and in the event of a service being interrupted, I would remain in the sanctuary to offer spiritual support and help to establish calm response. Rhonda is the point person for the team, and in addition, team members right now include Aaron, Moira, Bill, and Jennifer. Brandy's out of town, so we put her on the team. We'll see how she likes that idea when she gets back from vacation. Second is clarify public versus non-public spaces. First of all, this church is privately owned by us, so we do need to put some kind of sign by the driveway that indicates private property without at the same time scaring off prospective new members. So we're working on that, how to do that. Congregations are encouraged to clearly define which areas of the building are public and which are private, consistent with normal church operations. So that has to be made clear with some signs. For example, the narthex area is public, but the offices would be private. We want to protect the areas where computers and sensitive information are kept. At the same time, the front office where Brandy works is often a hub on Sundays with a lot of activity and people in and out, and we want to keep people feeling welcome. So we're trying to resolve this, maybe perhaps with a temporary sign when needed. We stick it on there real fast. So 3, verify documentation and contact legal support. Strong emphasis on carefully reviewing any documentation that would be presented to us upon entry should ICE come in. We need to distinguish between a judicial warrant and other documents that do not authorize entry into private areas. So when in doubt, we are to pause, review, and contact legal counsel before proceeding. A team member is contacting some attorneys in the ACLU, Rhonda, I believe. Another team member, Bill, is contacting the Coon Rapids Police Department just to see what information they can provide for us as well. Also, if any of you have a good attorney we could speak with, please let me or Rhonda know. And then 4, do not obstruct, but insist on proper process. So faith communities are being advised not to obstruct law enforcement while also insisting on lawful process and maintaining the dignity, safety, and pastoral care of the congregants. Calm presence, respectful language, and adherence to established procedures are consistently recommended. In other words, in the moment, tamp down all desire to holler certain words and be the calm, loving, spiritual presence that you are. In the moment, you could consider it an important spiritual practice. Being in a filled church is not the time or place to practice one's aggressive protester skills. And then 5, prepare a communications and pastoral care plan. So our team will be working on this, how leadership is notified, how congregants are supported pastorally, how information is shared without any panic. For example, if someone walked in the door who goes there, how does that communicate? How does it end up trickling through? How does it get down to me up in the front, etc.? So the communication in the moment, but also communication like continuing to share with all of you what's going on, what we're doing and working on this and so forth. Just a whole process of communication. So if any of you have ideas, suggestions, questions about any of these, or any information to share with us regarding any of this, please contact me. My business card is in a basket on my desk or in the narthex. There should be some. Or please contact Rhonda. Rhonda will need the contact info you wish to provide and have it in a place where people can find it. We have only had 2 meetings so far, so we're moving as fast as we can to be effective for all. One last comment on this subject. If any of you are having those squeamish unity feelings that if we talk about this, we are drawing it to us in consciousness, we are all already thinking about ICE entering sensitive places like churches to some degree, especially being in Minnesota now. How can we not be? So our aim is to have a team and protocol in place so we can feel safer and have less need to think and worry about it. Someone on the team said, trust Allah, but tie up your camel. Another one said, pray and then lock your door. So it's the same idea. Trust that we are safe with nothing to be concerned about, and we choose to be ready and prepared. So that all helps us to release and let go and let God. After I typed that the other day, this last part, I took a break, turned on the news, and heard the announcement ICE is leaving Minnesota. It was just funny timing. But as I said at the beginning, we'll continue. It remains to be seen. We'll continue and do what we can. And I was thinking, even if we have to stop it, that team could be very useful for some other things. For example, if there was an emergency during service of any kind, if somebody had an illness or somebody collapsed in the parking lot. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do. This team could be very useful in helping with. So any questions on that so far? Yes, Mary.
So as an usher, are there going to be specific things that we would do? Like if I saw ICE pull up in the driveway or in the parking lot, would I run and lock the doors?
Yeah, the ushers don't necessarily. Oh, I'm sorry. She's asking, as an usher, are there specific things the ushers would need to do if, say, ICE pulled up and you saw them? Would she go lock the doors, or what would she do? So, yeah, ushers do not necessarily need to be part of the team, but ushers will be communicated with about what the team comes up with in terms of the communication protocol. And the ushers will have some things that they will do in certain instances. So it's a very good question. Thank you. Yeah. Yes.
So, another addition
Hold on
to
one
that
minute.
is,
One second. Okay.
is it on? Okay. Another addition to information to give to our members would be, for instance, what you can do in the parking lot. So if you are parked in the parking lot and you see ICE drive in, you can set off your car alarms. You can blow whistles. That is all absolutely legal.
That's a good point. We need to remember to write that down too. Yeah, good point. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, well, we'll just hold that. It would be great if we don't have to make use of that in that way. So anyway, now I'd like to call up Jennifer Flynn. She's a board member and also part of the expansion team, and she's done some work on a different area of our safety for us, and we'll share that. And then she will also tell us about the trees and outside property here at Unity North.
My lovely assistant, Bill, giving his best Vanna White moves. So This is the second time that we have done an annual safety refresher at the annual meeting. And since it's the second time, some of you were here last year. So instead of me telling you all stuff, I'm going to see who knows things or remembers things. We're going to do this in a quiz format. So if you know where the AED is, point that direction of the AED. I see a lot of hands going. I think all the hands are going the right way. Yes, next to Brandy's office is the AED. And can we get a show of hands for anyone who feels reasonably competent in the usage of an AED? That's pretty good. And for those of us who aren't, they do come with directions and they're pretty easy to follow. First aid kit. We have 2 first aid kits. So can I get a shout outs for the locations on the first aid kits? I heard kitchen and social hall. Yes. Wonderful. Fire extinguishers, 2 fire extinguishers. Can I get shout outs or hand pointing towards the fire extinguishers? I see some people using both arms to point to both of them. Yes, the social hall and Brandy's office. The fire extinguishers, not the blankets yet. Okay, now blankets. Sorry for the, see, I have a printout of last year's slide, which is in a list, and that's all over the place, so I don't know what you're looking at next. Okay, now fire blankets. Now Mary can point towards me.
There's one there, and there's one in the kitchen by the refrigerator.
Yes, one in the kitchen by the refrigerator and one here because for those of you who are here at the holidays, we like lots of candles at the holidays. And now, well, they are. She does give. We could throw the blanket over, no.
I second that one.
Biting my tongue as much as I can over comments I could make about the movies that have been shown here. All right, Reverend Kathy says it's all right. So for those of you who don't know this joke, we've had movies over time and for a long time, years, without anyone noticing that we had the kids movie and then we'd been having a movie we'd been calling the adult movie. And it took years for somebody to notice that we were saying adult movie and that maybe didn't sound quite right. And then it was so funny, we just left it that way.
And the jokes just kept coming.
Onward. Okay, finally, LifeVac. Who knows what a LifeVac is? I see a couple hands up. Okay, this is an anti-choking device. So inside this box, there are 2 sizes of masks. One's a child size, one's an adult size, and there's a plunger thing, and it has very easy directions. Now, people have heard of the Heimlich maneuver, but sometimes the Heimlich maneuver is not the best option. For example, if someone's pregnant, we have this. If someone has really brittle bones, we have this. So in general, the Heimlich maneuver is the best thing for if someone's choking, but there are exceptions where this is the go-to thing, and who knows where we keep it? Hands are pointing, but yes, to the social hall, next to one of the first aid kits and one of the fire extinguishers. And then let's get a show of hands, make mental notes of people who are reasonably competent in CPR. Great. And how about a show of hands for people who have at least had like some training Okay. And then there's one thing that I didn't put up on the slide because I just wanted all of us to say it. And this has been used before at a Good For You Day when someone had a medical emergency. And it was our healers who were here before the ambulance. So healers, we have healers. And that is the annual safety refresher. Are my other slides next? Yes, okay. Stewardship of the grounds. For 2025, the top priorities were the box elders that were hazard trees and the buckthorn. So the box elders had some structural problems. They were our poster child of structural problems. We've had many of them fall down over the years. In fact, I think 2 springs ago, one fell right about there and ripped up a few shingles. Didn't do too much damage, but the situation over the south side of the parking lot really was a concern. So there were dead and broken branches tangled over the property line between Unity and the townhomes. So this was a long project of communicating with the townhome. Chris is nodding. He did a lot of that communication, of communicating with the townhome property management company and their liaison. But when Chris finally got boots on the ground with them, they could totally see this problem and even split the cost with us. We got a very good price, and that work got done on June 14th. So next slide. There it is, June 14th. It was a small company, just 2 people with big equipment. And from our land acknowledgement, I wrote creating refuge. So this is a sustainable forestry practice where instead of chipping it all, where the wood decomposes rapidly, they leave the downed wood there in place where the carbon is sequestered longer, and it becomes a habitat for our little creatures. And this was really the impetus for that entry into the Coon Rapids Sustainable Garden Tour. And if you wanted more information about that, I did a pretty big write-up about that in the July-August newsletter. And next slide. Buckthorn removal. From our land acknowledgement, removing what does not belong. So the buckthorn was getting berries on it. Buckthorns have male and female plants, and I cut a deal with those arborists, and I just said whatever I could cut down by hand, if they would chip it. We worked something out, and I wrote about that in the December newsletter, which is when we were doing the Magic of Story series. So it's written about a little more elaborately. And these are the pictures that go along with that story of kind of the epic pile of buckthorn that was fueled by 1 energy drink and a piece of jerky, something like that. I might have got a little silly with that one. And next slide. And the garden tour. This was really neat to get accepted into this from our land acknowledgement, planting what sustains life. Our beautiful front gardens where we have lots of pollinator plants and native plants, and we had 51 people come through on the tour. 7 people from our community, and the rest were people from around town. And I wrote about that in the September-October newsletter, and I also, forgot this, I also still have handouts if anyone wanted a handout from that day. It has all kinds of information because we had 12 different educational stops there around the grounds. So info, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Jennifer. As you can see, a lot has been done, and this is a fraction of what this team has accomplished over the last several years, too. and Jennifer. All right, let me see. Where are we? What slide number is that? 20? Okay, I want to give a special thank you to our team of producers for our in-person Zoom and hybrid services. Yeah, who is that handsome guy? Chris designed, ordered, and installed our virtual equipment and remains our special tech support. Nancy is next, and then Brandy at the top right, and at the bottom right are Martha and Tracy. All 5 of them have been an incredible team, and we're affirming additional help. Always is great to give them some breaks. So if any of you are inclined to assist with the audio, which is the sound part of the service, or the video, which is the PowerPoint, please let us know. Training would be available. So let's give them a big hand too. And Tracy, you can stay on that slide for just a minute. I did not do slides for each group. I apologize. I still need to collect some more pictures. For example, our worship assistants. I need photos, but I want to just acknowledge them. Nola Bean, Howard Grenzel. I'm learning to pronounce the name correctly today. Grenzel, right? Wendy Erickson and Bill Roloff. And I think they are fabulous, don't you? And then we also have had support from our prayer chaplains as they've continued to pray with us by phone or in person every Sunday. They are Wendy Erickson, Nancy Helvig, and Rebecca Thompson. We can no longer say Redondo Beach, California. She moved to Lomita, California, which is between Long Beach and Redondo. It's about 5 miles inland or 5 minutes inland, still near the beach. And actually, she lives blocks from where I used to live. We've been mad because we could have walked together. But anyway, John Lippert stepped back into that team and joined our team again. And he's wonderful, has a great presence. But he's taking a partial break just for a few months because he was called to work on Sundays for a bit. But he still is praying behind the scenes. So I think we should honor our prayer chaplains too. Now I'm going to go through kind of a list. I'm grateful that Darlinda Alexander has continued to be our usher coordinator, training and overseeing a great team of ushers who are all appreciated. And Diana Ramsayer has continued to oversee coordinating Sunday snacks, thanks to everyone setting up coffee and bringing weekly treats. It's also been great working with our Board of Trustees. They are really a wonderful, dedicated group of people. And it's really a harmonious group. Moira, our board president, and I have worked together regularly on the board agenda and other projects, and we have a very great relationship. Also, Tracy Roloff continues to spend a lot of time and energy on our website. And thank you also, Tracy, for the upcoming events you send out monthly and the newsletter as well, which Brandy first prepares. And then also for all the extra help with PowerPoints. I do the PowerPoints, and then she and Chris in the past too help make them more beautiful than I do. So I appreciate that. And then thanks to Charlotte Desai, who lives in Minneapolis but continues to support us with her beautiful flyers and graphic art online. We are grateful. And then yeah, so now we can go on to next slide. Thank you to Rhonda Taliano, our adult ed director and licensed Unity teacher. She and I work closely together and our visions align well. She is our main teacher besides me, and because she's licensed through Unity, she can teach classes for credit also, should anyone else want to become a Unity licensed teacher or a Unity minister. Rhonda also coordinates other guest teachers for us, so thank you, Rhonda, for adding your efforts in creating ideas to this area of ministry. And next slide. The former founder and spiritual leader of Unity North, Carol Niskern, returned to teach the class last year, Did Jesus Change His Mind? And then Rhonda taught a book study class. Next slide. from called Wisdom from a Mystic, studying the book The Tears of Things by Richard Rohr. Next slide. Um, Several of the classes I taught included We Were Made for These Times, and then Mornings with Myrtle, which was a fun class. And then next, I taught a Sunday series and classes on the magic of story. My classes were less this last year because I didn't teach in the spring or summer because I was going through that period of illness. But this year I'm starting right out with world religions next week. So, all right. So next slide. This includes, some of the other events were included all the holiday services and the parts of that. And then my anniversary party was in September. It was a special event I won't forget. I'm grateful to the board and to all of you for that celebration. It was really a wonderful time. And then our movie nights, game and art days, healing and prayer circle gathering, and other parties. So, and then next, a shout out to our musicians. You can see Claire and Judy and Amy and Adams, Nancy Helvig and Sarah Raker, Bill Mann and Braden Canfield. Braden has not been with us since the fall. However, I do have some good news. Claire will be with us for Easter, and I asked her to find someone to bring with her, and she's bringing Braden. She's the one who introduced him here in the first place, so I think they'll be a fabulous team for Easter, so I'm excited about that. And next, our Unity North staff, Larry Peterson, Brandy McLaughlin, Kathleen Bailey, and some of you don't know who Sarah, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, McCallis. So all of the above mentioned in my report today wouldn't be possible without a fabulous staff. Unfortunately, we've had the same staff for the last 4.5 years anyway. Larry Peterson's a great help behind the scenes as facility manager. Some of you may not know that he's gone to Arizona for the winter and may be doing that now on, we're not sure. But so this year we decided to try it out to have 2 people replace him, and those 2 are Jennifer and Cindy. And they're doing his job for him while he's away, and they're doing wonderfully together. And then Brandy, as you know, is multi-talented and amazing. She's our wonderful administrative assistant. She also does the technical part of adult ed. She handles our class registrations on Acuity. She acts as staff at some of the virtual classes. And she helps to market through email and on Facebook and Instagram for us. She also helps co-produce Sunday services running PowerPoint. As I mentioned above, she's our Wonder Woman extraordinaire and shines a bright light wherever she goes. As I said last year, she's funny and sunny and very skilled too, and a joy to work with. So I want to honor Kathleen Bailey for her incredible strength and persistence and stability and flexibility as Youth and Family Ministry Director and also Director for Community Outreach. She's been in the Youth and Family role for 9 years, and I have to say Kathleen just loves our kids. She just would be with kids all the time if she could. And she has been outreach co-chair for 16 plus years and director since COVID. You are amazing, Kathleen, and one of the most compassionate people that I know. And I thank you to Moira and to all those who assist with youth and family. Jennifer and Wendy, Julie, Tracy, and now Paige, and also outreach, especially Mary and Donna and any others. Please forgive me if I missed anyone. And I want to thank you to all the parents too, because you bring your wonderful children and give such support. And Kayla, one of our parents, has taken on the lending library, keeping it neat and organized. And so thank you for that, Kayla. And let's see. And then Sarah, I think she's our cleaning person. She's been here since 2019. I came in December of 2019. She was already here, so I think she must have come just before me. So please hold on the slides for just a minute, Tracy. While I finish, I'll end the reports. But I just want to say I'm really glad to be here at Unity North with all of you. It is my honor and my joy to serve as your minister and to get to know you better each year. And since last December 2025, I've now been here 6 years. So that's hard to believe. It's gone fast. But fast, except for COVID, wasn't so fast, was it? That you are an incredible Unity congregation and very committed and loving and spiritual. And I'm really grateful to be here. Also, this amazing time in history. You know, the history of Unity North, the history of the Unity movement, which is going through a lot. And now we can add the history of our country. So despite the challenges we're facing, I continue to be filled with optimism and faith for our future because I know this community will continue to support each other and to support this ministry, knowing how important it is. So unity is even more essential in these times. And I trust Spirit is guiding and directing us in all that we do going forward. So thank you all. And then let's just close this part with our affirmation again. Next slide. Together, centered in prayerful intention, we give thanks for an overflowing abundance of spiritual awakening, prosperity, new members, and children for Unity North Spiritual Center. Okay?
All right, let's give a hand to Kathy. Thank you. I'd like to call on Kathleen Bailey, my mom, for our Youth and Family Ministry and Outreach Director report.
Good afternoon. I'll start out with Youth and Family Ministry. Our nursery program continues to be supported by our volunteers, Julie, Rachel, and Tracy. They lovingly supported our 3 youngest children. Thank you, ladies, for your continued support. I so appreciate you coming in on Sundays. YES, Young Enlightened Spirits. They are the kindergarten through 5th grade. This group has been steadfastly led by Jennifer. It has been several weeks since we've had any children in this program, and I am so grateful that she remains so positive and determined to be the light of these children. In the beginning of the year, the lessons were centered on the teachings of Jesus, and later part of the year was based on the 12 powers. Summer school was available and minimally attended this past summer. Uniteens, which are our children from 6th through 8th grade, I led this group. The lessons at the start of the year came from a Unity curriculum, the teachings of Jesus, and they followed up by the lessons based on our 12 powers in the fall. In the spring, we also had a bridging service for 2 of our kids that moved from YES program into the Uniteens. YOU, also known as Youth of Unity, are our 9th through 12th graders. In the first part of the year, this age group was combined with our Uniteens due to the availability of volunteers. In the fall, Paige Ray joined the team in leading our YOU. Thank you, Paige. These Sunday discussions have been centered around world religions, and we'll pick that up again after Kathy's classes, I believe. The Uniteens YOU hosted 3 fundraisers. Our first chili cook-off in January, a bracelet Cherry Creek jewelry sale in May, and a bake sale in December. All events were greatly supported, and the monies were raised to assist the cost of our youth attending the Great Lakes regional rallies and retreats, and also split with a tithe to Hope for Youth. The retreats and rallies, just for your information, are offered 3 times a year. 1 spring unity treat, 1 June YOU rally, and then a fall retreat for both age groups. Throughout the year, we had 9 children participate in our YES Uniteen YOU program and 3 in the nursery. The YOU Uniteens. Oh, excuse me. I'm supposed to. Never mind that. I forgot to erase the line. Thank you for all your continued support. Outreach. Adopt a Family. In December, we gifted Alexander House with nearly $1,000 in gift cards and many wonderful gifts for the families, including their pets. Thank you, and a special thank you to Mary and Donna for delivering all the items. Family Table. We kicked off 2025 by serving 73 meals of ham slices and scalloped potatoes in January. This was down from the prior year to an extremely cold temperature. We continued offering our meals through October. We served over 1,000 meals in this drive-through this last year. In January, noting our lowest count of 73, and ending the year in October with a record-breaking 153 full Thanksgiving meals. That was an amazing work by some volunteers that continue to remain very, very dedicated to Family Table, and I am very, very appreciative of it. Thank you all who helped out this past year, and truly, truly appreciate. Family Promise. We continue to support the hospitality rotation 4 times in the calendar year. As a result of the expansion programs offered by Family Promise, the supplies varied between personal hygiene and snacks and treats, along with approximately $20, $35 guest cards for the families. We supported anywhere from 1 to 5 families in each rotation. As the advocate for Unity North to Family Promise, I attended monthly meetings. As a budget mentor for Family Promise, I support for families throughout the year. We work on creating budgets and getting them to figure out how to understand how to make rent payments and pay bills on a timely basis, and that's really a good thing to do. Rhonda, Moira, and I attended the groundbreaking ceremony of the new 8-unit apartment complex that in April, and that is to. Are we switching mics? We're switching mics. Is number 3 ready to go? Not yet. Whoa. Now we're on. All right, I'm just going to start back to Family Promise, and if you missed anything between the cutouts, come see me. And we're cutting out again. Are we good? But I'll keep talking. Let's see. I wish I had some really good jokes. No, I know you are. Always a handful of those. Okay. And yeah, I'm blanking. So I got the thumbs up for a moment. Rhonda, Moira, and I attended the groundbreaking ceremony of the Family Promise new 8-unit apartment complex in April. This is a new complex that it has been a dream that started 15 plus years ago. Some of us are in this room that started out and helping out with Family Promise. In the town, it hopes to open midsummer. 8 apartments for 8 families, and our role hopefully will be to support 4 times on a similar process, similar time frame that we have done in the past, in which we'll hang out with them on a Friday night maybe for pizza, do a Saturday breakfast, a Sunday brunch, and then a midweek dinner. That is what is currently planned for our support in the second half of 2026. Hands of Kindness. In 2025, our community provided meals to members within our community, budgeting support for individuals both within our community and greater community, drove community members to and from important appointments. All of this totaled to over 250 hours of support, which is about 24 hours every single month that people gave of their time. We continue to support the community by providing gas and food gift cards along with prepackaged food items from the food shelf. And that is the end of my 2 reports.
Thank you. Now I want to call on Cindy Huberty, our treasurer, to give the financial report. And Chris Italiano, our bookkeeper, prepares the reports.
Okay, so before I start giving you numbers, let me just say that 2025 didn't look as good as 2024 financially, and there are some reasons for that. Considering some of our challenges last year and the economy in general, we feel like we are doing quite well. We do a lot as a community, and we have a lot to be grateful for. So for the first slide, if you could put the, okay, thanks. Indicates the revenue in 2025 relative to 2024. So the total revenue in 2025 was $7,050 less than 2024, and the total 2025 revenue was $9,104 under budget. Next slide. This indicates the expenses were increased by $7,690 from 2024 to 2025. This is mainly due to increases for salaries, guest speakers, and musicians that we had previously approved. Next slide is the net revenue. There was a deficit of $1,914 after paying for expenses and mortgage. Next slide. Indicates our different accounts at the end of the year. Our checking, PayPal, cash decreased by $2,261. These fluctuate depending on timing of deposits and bills. The savings increased by $306, and our mortgage balance decreased by $17,000. And as we stated previously, the mortgage matures on March 3, 2032, so we have 6 years remaining. Next slide is the expense budget for 2026. This is the 3rd year of having a balanced budget. Total budget for 2026 expenses is $181,000, and that is an increase of $6,600 over 2025. Next slide is the revenue budget for 2026, and our actual total revenue for 2025 was $172,568. To cover our expenses this year, we would need $181,088. And so what this basically is that we would need an extra $232 per week from the congregation. And if we kind of break this down a little bit, that would mean that 20 people giving $12 more per week is what it would come out to. So I think that goes over. I just want to thank Chris for all the work that he does on preparing the monthly reports, as well as the preparation of these slides and the budget for the meeting in this year. So thank you very much, Chris. So I hope this gives you a better understanding of what our income and expenses were last year and how much we need to keep this business running. Unity North continues to be prosperous and fiscally responsible. And as always, we encourage everyone to apply prosperity principles and see the highest and best for Unity North in the coming year. Mm-hmm.
Are there any questions on the financial report? Aaron, just wait for the mic.
I just have a question of the math. It says $181,000 and $1,081.88, is $584 lower than 172,568.
We're talking the actuals in 2025 versus the budget in 2026. And if I'm
So the
right,
budget
Chris,
is lower?
The budget is lower.
Any other questions? No. Can someone please make a motion to accept the financial report?
So moved.
Bill, can I get a second?
Second.
Noel, all in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Let's give a big hand to Cindy and Chris for all their work. We have one board member leaving this year, but no replacement for her at this time. So we will run with 5 board members now, which is legal according to our bylaws. Christine Grenzel is leaving, and we are so thankful for her service. Christine, can you please come forward? I'd like to give you a little card of appreciation and our special unity blessing. Yep. Christine, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you.
Thank you all.
It's been a
pleasure.
Yes. Nominating team. In order to select board members previously, a nominating team was created. The nominating team includes the minister, 1 board member other than the president, and 2 congregants elected at the annual meeting the prior year. The 2 elected to the nominating team previously were Nancy Halvig and Mary Sorensen. Usually we get our nominating team up and running in November, but we did not do that since 3 other board members who were to go off decided to rerun for the board. Generally, there aren't that many leaving at this time, but it fell that way. So we are grateful that they have all agreed to rerun. And that shows a lot about how well we work together. Yes. So first, regarding the nominating team, Nancy Halvig and Mary Sorensen have both agreed to be on the team this year for the next annual meeting, since they didn't get to do their job on the team. They didn't get to do their job this last year. They're both so disappointed that they wanted to have another opportunity.
But we'll be glad not to have to do it again. You guys want to just keep going.
So first of all, we would like to affirm both Nancy and Mary as our new nominating team members for this year. Can we please have a vote of acclamation? Everyone who agrees to the nomination of Nancy Halvig and Mary Sorensen to the nominating team this year, please raise your hand. Any opposed? And the vote is passed. Thank you again, and congratulations to Nancy and Mary.
Campaign.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone who voted for it.
The other thing that is unusual is that this last year, Erin Casper-Frett left the board. After serving her 1 term, we honored her at the annual meeting. Then she went in to have the special cake we had for her. In a conversation, it dawned on her that she should have rerun for the board. So she came back for another 3 years with an hour left. That was a first. The meeting was already over. So today, at this annual meeting, we need to affirm her for her remaining term of 2 years on the board.
We're What about the cake?
We saved it.
We can also do this by acclamation. If you agree that Erin should serve the remaining 2 years of her second term on the board, please raise your hand. Any opposed? And the vote is passed. And welcome back, Erin. We now have 3 more board members rerunning for 3 years. Jennifer Flynn, Cindy Huberty, and Bill Roloff. Can you 3 please come forward? Or stand, whichever.
This is completely unusual.
We can also do this by a vote of acclamation. If you agree that Jennifer Flynn, Cindy Huberty, and Bill Roloff can each have another 3-year term on the board, please raise your hand. Any opposed? And the vote is passed. Congratulations. Congratulations again to Jennifer, Cindy, and Bill, and thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Moira. What about you, Moira?
You guys still have me and Erin for 2 more years.
Oh, yay, good, all right.
And then there'll be a cake.
And then I get my cake.
So there's a chance, Mary and Nancy, that you won't have another job this year. So you might have to do it again next year.
Oh, all right, Nancy, we'll just keep stringing us along.
Okay, we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you, Moira. Great job.
Thank you.
Next slide. Yeah, there we go. So we have 2 changes in our bylaws that we wish to make that involves a vote by the membership. So we're asking for your forgiveness today and your blessing to go ahead and approve changes in bylaws. The forgiveness concerns the fact that according to our bylaws, we were supposed to give you 2 weeks' notice if there is to be a bylaws change. The reason we did not give that notice is because one of the revisions concerns a name change in Greater Unity that impacts us. Let me explain briefly. There have been 2 corporations governing what I call Greater Unity. The first is Unity Worldwide Ministries, and the second is Unity World Headquarters. And I won't go into details about what each one did, but after much planning and a lot of work and many years, probably 30 years, it was determined the 2 organizations would finally come together as one. Not through a merger as everyone had always believed, but instead the larger organization, Unity World Headquarters, located at Unity Village, has absorbed Unity Worldwide Ministries, UWM, into itself. So the latter will continue as a department. So this vote just took place in November. It was a big deal. So they are scrambling now to adjust to this transition. They've been working on it for a long time, but still, transition's always tough. It's huge. So this impacts us and many other churches, especially those with an annual meeting in February. That's because our Unity North bylaws make reference to both of the former names of the greater organization, and those names are now redundant, so our bylaws are now completely incorrect and a change is required. So I could not go through and make the necessary changes to our bylaws until I knew what names to put in place of the former ones. So I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I did not know whether they would still be using Unity World Headquarters or not, and I did not receive that information until this week. And then I got a call from Carol Scotta, who's the secretary of the new board, and she relayed the necessary information to me. So I have been able to make the changes over the last few days, and that's why you did not get the notice in advance. So we could call another special meeting, to be really correct, we could call another special meeting in the future and give you 2 weeks' notice, and then come together just for the bylaws change. Or we can do it now if you're willing, because of these special circumstances, to dispense with that need for 2 weeks' notice. So the question is, can you please raise your hand if you are willing to go forward with this now rather than call another meeting? Yay. All right. Thank you. So given that, there are 2 motions, and you can put them up, Tracy. The first concerns the new name, and the second has to do with creating membership possibilities for out-of-state or local Zoom attendees. So let me read the first motion. I make a motion that in Unity North Spiritual Center bylaws, Article 2 Purpose, Section 1, Statement of Purpose, the name Unity Communities and Leaders, UCNL, also known as Unity, is inserted as the new names. Throughout the rest of the document, the word Unity is to replace former bylaws names or abbreviated references. So will a board member please second this motion? Bill? All right. And then we can now vote by acclamation, either yes or no. How many of you agree to approve this motion? Please raise your hand. All right. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all. And now we have a second motion. The board and I spend a lot of time discussing the value of allowing regular Zoom attendees who go through the usual hoops, which includes a membership class, among other things, to become a Unity North member. And I will read that motion. I make a motion that Unity North Spiritual Center bylaws, Article 4, members, Section 3, membership, number 4, now reads, an out-of-state or local Zoom attendee who fulfills regular membership requirements can apply to become a member. Again, we can vote by acclamation. If you agree with that motion, then please vote yes by raising your hand. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you so much, everyone. That was easy. And now we have a special video. I've been showing you videos the last couple of years from Jim Blake, the CEO. This one's different because of what is now being created. Is there something?
Imagine Unity as a living ecosystem, an organization with clear structure, powered by a genuine grassroots movement. At the center, our home office comprised of our board, CEO, executive director, and UCNL home office team consciously, radiating outward to uphold our shared missions and ministries to create personal and spiritual transformation in the world. Our movement is further supported by teams committed to marketing, prosperity, events, philanthropy, silent unity, publishing, technology, customer care, and so much more. At the heart is one illuminated circle, the Circle Portal, an open gateway for all. Here, anyone can explore learning, join affinity circles, post ministry positions, access resources, and more. It is the digital campfire where the movement gathers. Under the UC and L Executive Director flow 2 major streams: education and youth and family. Partner services, credentialed leaders, including ministries and ministers, etc. And regions, including international. Ministries appear in many forms: churches, alternative ministries, spiritual direction, retired ministers, and new expressions still emerging. Now the movement lights up. Pods, chapters, regions. Pods are creative labs, small enough to test bold ideas from 0 to 15 people. Pods are akin to small groups. Chapters offer larger group spiritual experiences for seekers wanting community, 15 to 100 people. Pods and chapters can exist within churches, and churches and centers stand strong alongside either pods or chapters, never replaced, always honored. Regions function as empowered, geographically anchored hubs that coordinate local activity, support leaders, and accelerate movement growth through grassroots but aligned engagement. This clarity frees ministries to innovate while allowing churches and centers to remain as they are. Youth spark the movement as catalysts, pods, chapters, and churches feed affinity circles in the portal, growing community organically. And when anyone needs support, customer care, silent unity, UC and L, or any other part of UWH are just a call or prayer away. This is the Unity Grassroots movement, alive, inclusive, and emerging from the people.
Kind of interesting, don't you think? A little overwhelming. And the portal they're talking about they are creating it, will be ready by March, and everybody can access it. So we'll learn a lot more about how that takes place and what we can do with it. But there'll be all kinds of resources available through that portal. So that part I think is very exciting. And then the last slide, the last one we had was the 4 objectives and visioning. This is a carryover from last year. And we have 4 objectives and we've kept them. And we still are doing some work on these. So like the first one, greater prosperity awareness, can include strategies and goals for increasing volunteers, finances, visitors, etc. And then increased social media marketing and greater prayer and healing experiences can include strategies, goals for more eclectic adult ed, and embracing differences. So the first one, we did fundraisers for greater prosperity awarenesses. We showed the film One Field. More to do. We'd like to have quotes posted, have testimonials, have a tithing booklet, a new prosperity class this year, more opportunities for youth in the service. And secondly, increasing social media marketing. This is our area of greatest need, truly. What we've already done, we've attempted a marketing team. It didn't work out. Brandy's doing our posting on Facebook and Instagram at present. Then newsletter website, we did an article on getting to know our community that Candy did, interviewing people and writing it up and putting it in the newsletter on the website. She's done that for a year and she's stepping back from that. So if anyone likes to write, likes to interview people and write, let me know if you're interested in taking on this article. And we need to thank Candy for that. Let's give her a... And then still to do, well, this is an area we'll be working on more this year. And then the third one, greater prayer and healing experiences. We've done prayer and healing class, personal prayer requests, prayer box has been brought to the front, healing facilitators after service, healing team has held healing gatherings. We do need another prayer chaplain, so if anybody feels a calling in that direction, the prayer chaplains are a little spread thin right now. So they do a wonderful job, and it would be great to have one more person. So if you feel called in that way, we do training for that. So let us know. You can check with me or with Wendy, or any of the prayer chaplains, Nancy or whoever, just let us know. And then let's see, women's workshop. I was unable to do that last year and intend to do so this year. I'm in a dilemma though, because I know several men who really want to be involved. So anyway, and then the fourth one rather, is embracing differences. And as it mentioned before, we changed the name DEI, but we didn't change content. So What we still need to do is have more informational classes periodically. There's also the reading of gender neutral pronoun books, highlighting equality in classes, documentaries, looking at our history, taking field trips, activities for retirees, and Uniteens and YOUers to organize something in that area. So we're open to your ideas and suggestions in any of these 4 areas. If any of them call to you, please talk to us. Let us know what you're thinking. And are there any questions? Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me? No, maybe I wasn't talking loud enough. I just had a thought come into my mind. I know that we are like a church, but in another sense, we're like a spiritual center. We have differences. But now that I'm getting older, I have a question. Do we do funerals here? You know, do we have some of the structures that we associate with churches, such as baptisms and processes, that I think often draw families and people to a church? And yet we're kind of different, I think, in that respect, or maybe we just haven't been called upon to do those kinds of activities. So just some thoughts on what do we do?
So we haven't been called upon. Yeah, I can do a memorial service. We would call them memorial services or celebration of life services. And I do spiritual baptism for children, for babies. We just haven't nobody's died and nobody's gotten married or or had their babies baptized, but I'm certainly open to that, and that's available. Yeah. We're not asking any of you to hurry up and die or anything.
Thank you.
It's nice to know there's not a waiting list.
Yeah.
No waiting list. So, anyone else? Go ahead, Moira.
Thank you to Reverend Kathy. I especially want to thank her. She has worked tirelessly over the week and a half of going over 16 pages of bylaws, making both of our scripts, doing the slides, sending them to Tracy. So let's give her a hand. Thank you. And again, thank you all for participating today. Any last minute questions before we adjourn?
Thank you, Moira, for being our board president. Yes.
You're welcome.
Continuing on.
Thank you.
I have a question. I'm Candy.
For those who are... Oh, go ahead, Candy.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure Kathy's expecting me to ask, so when can I become a member?
Actually, we can make it official now. She's been through the membership class and everything. So she's done what she needs to do to go through it. So the board has to vote and then you're official. But there's nothing left to vote on at this meeting, but you would have to wait to the next meeting to vote anyway. So I guess let's have the board vote on you. Can we make a motion to approve Candy for membership?
Bill.
Bill? Bill?
Can I get a second?
Second from the board?
Cindy, all in favor?
All right, welcome to Unity North. Our first official virtual member.
Can I just say one thing real quick? Thank you. You have no idea what this means to me. When I came in, when I found Kathy totally out of the air, I was broken. And between getting to know everyone in classes and Kathy's messages and everything, you have actually healed me emotionally and spiritually. And now I'm continuing on my physical healing. I've got more to do on that. But so just thank you very much. can't tell you. It's real important to me. Thank you.
Where should I send her cake?
It started something.
All right. Any other last minute questions online?
I just have one quick one. What's our membership? How many online here? Do we have a total membership number? Can you repeat that?
I don't know whether Brandy counted before she left town. I was going to ask her that. I can't really answer that. I'll have to let you know by email.
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, sorry. She's asking what the official membership number is now. We did a whole new renewal, and since the renewal, I didn't get to count. So we'll have to let you know. It's somewhere in the, I want to say low 40s probably. Yeah. High 30s, low 40s as far as membership. And there's a difference in membership and regular attendees, because there are a number of regular attendees who have never really gone through the membership process. So it's a little both. Thank you. Well, I know that Christine and Howard have prepared a fabulous lunch for us, so
Yes.
it's all ready.
Before I release you guys to go eat, we will close with a prayer, but first I would like to call the motion to adjourn. Rhonda, can I get a second? Kathleen, all in favor? The motion is carried. And now Kathy.
First vote. Close the meeting.
And now Reverend Kathy will close with a prayer.
All right. Well, we just give thanks for this wonderful spirit of community, this spirit of love and appreciation and gratitude here today. And we are grateful. And thank you for a great meeting, and thank you all for your attendance and your ongoing support. It is so meaningful, and we appreciate everyone. So we give thanks as we go forward for continued guidance and direction for the highest good of Unity North as we go forward into this next year. And we're grateful for our meal today. We know that it blesses us and strengthens us, and we are filled with spirit. And so it is. Amen. Thank you all.